Welcome back to Clutching Around Sports Talk. It's your boy Joe.
AJ.
What's going on, y'all? It's Wayne.
Yo, what up? So this is episode 2, and today the show's entitlement is Black Excellence, all right? So we're going to celebrate all the Black excellence that's going on around in the sports world today. Definitely want to give a shout out to that, man. That's why I'm rocking the gear a little bit. You know, you got the Willie Beeman on there. First, well, not one of them first. I want to sound like Jay Williams right now, the first. But one of the black quarterbacks in a great all-time movie in Any Given Sunday. But anyway, man, we're going to go ahead and hop into the show, right? So, man, we're going to talk about this NBA right now, man. We're going to do a brief recap on last week and what we have going on forward in the NBA. So, let's go ahead, man, and get into it, man. What do y'all think about what happened last week in the NBA? Philly lost. Mm-hmm. Who else? The
Utah.
Nets. Yeah, the Nets lost. That was crazy right there.
Yeah, Brooklyn lost.
Brooklyn lost. So
and then Utah went down.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's go ahead and let me go ahead and kick it off to Jarvis, man. What you got going on?
Well, which series you want to start off with?
Yeah, you didn't give a series.
I didn't give a series.
Let's start off with Utah and the Clippers.
Let's go ahead.
Let's just start off with Utah and the Clippers. I couldn't think that a fully loaded, healthy Utah team would lose to Clippers without Kawhi. Without Kawhi, and you lost
without your boy.
Back 4 games straight. Oh my God! This is just I can't understand. But that's back where I was telling you. Your other guys, you talking about them, they bringing them up. Oh, these guys shooting these three. Man, I can see through this. You ain't no. It's reasons you on the bench and you role player. Mm-hmm.
Right.
You role player, because when these big moments like this happen, you usually don't come through.
Yeah.
And they didn't come through. Donovan Mitchell had a little problem right there with his ankle.
Problem, he was hurt.
You out there.
You could tell he was hurt.
You out there. It is what it is.
I get that rule, man, because we hold everybody else to the same rules. But when you hurt, hurt is hurt. Like, that's the same thing I said about James last week.
I'm gonna give him his hurt. And I'll tell you the same thing. James still shouldn't have been out there. We talk about him later, but
yeah, we gonna get to James.
You could just after the playoffs just hide James. But look at this. The young man was out there. He still was averaging what, 34. He still was cooking. They still wasn't stopping him. He still was frying him up.
I think what killed them is they just didn't expect that game from Terrence Mann. Game 6 is what killed them, because Terrence Mann went off. And then that pretty much, I think that just killed all of Utah's momentum.
Well, that was just a bad coaching decision. After you leaving a man open and he just keep hitting and you just keep time to call timeout and switch the game over. It's time to switch, because the whole plan was to see if he could beat you, right? That was the whole game plan. They wasn't chasing after.
He did.
But the point where the Clippers made an adjustment on, they did what I told them to do. Remember?
Yeah, make Rudy Gobert unplayable.
No, make this guy get off the ball. Don't let this guy just dictate to you what he's doing. They jumped out, start pressing him, start double teaming, get him off the ball, because these other guys aren't playmakers. That's just what it is.
I think we need to give credit to Ty Lue.
That's what I was just going to say.
So I think we need to give credit.
You gonna give credit to Ty Lue?
Yeah, give credit to Ty Lue, man. He started every series down 2-0.
I don't know, man.
So is it coming down to coaching?
I don't think so, because
when you get this deep, it's coaching and it's how well do your role players play.
I ain't gonna,
because you gotta know when you get this deep into the playoffs, you know the superstars gonna play.
I ain't gonna,
they're gonna ball, they're gonna hoop, they're gonna get their numbers. It's really all about when they get this deep into the playoffs and it's 4 teams left. It's about, can my role players make shots when they need to? And can my coach make adjustments? Can the head coach make adjustments when he sees that we're not in an advantageous position? As simple as that.
Well, I just was going to tell you that. I just think the Clipper role players are better. Just simply better.
That may be true.
They can play one-on-one. They can spot up and shoot.
They were better in Utah. Better than Utah. Is that what
better than Utah role players.
Okay.
Well, they better than most average role players. But, however,
I can agree with that.
However,
I agree with that.
So here's the thing. Since we're talking about coaching, what does this mean for Snyder?
For Utah?
Yeah.
Snyder ain't going nowhere.
No, nothing.
Snyder ain't going nowhere.
I think he'll get another crack at it again because Utah pretty loyal, if you ever noticed. They pretty loyal to their base. They pretty loyal. So they just don't just jump the gun. They just keep trying to come on with.
This is the second or third year that they've been eliminated in the first round.
I mean, Jerry Sloan had how many years?
They lost.
Second round.
How many chances Jerry Sloan had?
Yeah.
How many chances Jerry Sloan had? It ain't Snyder's fault.
I mean, Jerry Sloan been to the NBA Finals though, so
it ain't Jerry.
Back to back.
That's facts, but it wasn't his fault. He lost, wasn't it? He ran into some buzzsaws.
He ran into Michael Jordan.
Right. Now the same thing with Snyder. It wasn't his fault. The role players was missing, wasn't it?
But I guess what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, when we talk about the lack of African American coaches getting the opportunities to coach these teams, we get a lot of those opportunities to coach teams that aren't really that good. You got to rebuild.
Yeah.
They give us scraps to pretty much make sugar into what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's facts.
So at the end of the day, does Snyder have an issue?
No, he don't. He ain't gonna have it. He gonna be back next year and probably a year after that.
Bro, they'll be fine. Utah will be fine. Yeah,
probably a year.
They'll keep that coach. Donovan Mitchell is a star player. He's fine. They already paid him. They already paid Rudy Gobert. Like they added
Mike Conley coming back, right?
Yeah, Mike Conley coming
Conley's
back.
coming back.
They got Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench. They'll be fine, bro. They'll be fine. They just ran into a better team. The Clippers made bottom line, bro. Clippers made shots.
Well, the Clippers are a sneaky team.
They shot 50% in the series.
Yeah, when they hot, they hot. When they cold, they cold.
Right.
But
it's not a hot thing. It's not a hot thing with the Clippers. Clippers been shooting like that all season.
Unfortunately, today they you couldn't do nothing with them.
Right.
You go down, make a 2, they come back with a 3.
Yeah.
Right.
And they was keeping the same pace.
Right.
And they never wore out. He just substituted in, and then
And
whoever knew man would put up 39. 39.
Yeah.
And you talked about him last time.
I said he had to show up.
But we said that about all the role players. I'm telling you, when you are this deep
all
into
of them
the
showed up.
It's about
only one.
Can you get three things? Can you get a bucket when you need to get a bucket? Can your role player step up? And can your coach make an adjustment when you need to make an adjustment? That's as simple as that. That's the three things. When it's this deep into the playoffs, that's the three things that it is.
So, with that being said, moving on from L.A. and Utah.
Yeah.
Can we say the same thing about the Nets not being able to do that? Exactly. What I tell you. Same scenario. You said, Joe Harris he going to be. Man, look at Joe Harris, man. He can't create his own shot. He had multiple wide open shots.
That's true.
And he was shooting long, shooting air ball, shooting baskets. He hit the paint a couple times and still couldn't come up with nothing. He throwing air balls in the paint. Yo, come on, man.
I told you that series. That series. The reason I think the Nets lost that series is because KD just ran out of gas.
Out of gas, flat out.
KD ran out of gas, like
flat out. You couldn't rest him. Everybody keeps saying, "Well, they could have rested him 5." He couldn't even rest him.
Like
he was dictating everything.
Every good team that's lost in the playoffs this year, I strongly believe their best player, somebody didn't come with him.
He waited to the third and fourth quarter to pour it on.
I feel like the best player played like a superstar on every team that's lost. We can go to the Blazers. We can go to we can go to Lakers because I feel like LeBron didn't have a bad series. He just looked bad because the team looked bad. But I feel like the Lakers played. Like LeBron played good. I feel like
about that.
Yeah,
I think it was more so on coaching with them than it was, and also role players too.
Role players didn't step up either though. But like I feel like every good team, because there were some teams that were a little iffy in the playoffs, and they just young teams, and like Memphis, they're a young team. So like the whole team had its moments where they didn't play.
But we still giving that unsung hero with the next group, right? It happened last year.
Who's the unsung hero then?
Atlanta. They don't supposed to be there.
They ain't look like the unsung hero last night. I'm just saying.
They don't supposed to be there, right?
They ain't look like the unsung hero last night.
So we moving on from.
No, we ain't moving on.
No. He was just saying.
I was just giving you reference. Well, hey,
because we gonna get on Atlanta.
We can get on them. Yeah, that's cool. But we talking about Brooklyn though, and I'm telling you, Brooklyn really lost because KD ran out of gas and nobody came with him. I feel like if Kyrie plays. Or if James Harden just gives us 40% of himself.
So what does that say for James Harden and his playoff record right now?
Can we count this one?
It's the same thing every year.
Can we count this one?
He has a great, tremendous season.
Why? Because he was on the court?
He has a great, tremendous regular season and playoff. He forget basketball. He don't go to the hole. He just jack up shots. He just jack up silly shots.
I feel like AJ been around us too much, man.
I could care less.
For real, because we say that all the time. When boys get in the playoffs, they forget how to play basketball.
I could care less what he do in the regular season. Well, for some reason, when it get down to crunch time in the playoffs, James Harden's turned into this other guy.
Yeah.
And it's ugly.
So do you give more credit to the Bucks for capitalizing on those mishaps that the Nets had, or do you just say the Nets fell short and they really were the prototypical better team. They just didn't get it done when they were supposed to.
Well, I ain't gonna say all that. Now they had injuries. Let's be real. They had injuries. If this is a fully healthy next team, Bucks in trouble. Because as I pointed out before, your boy Gaines.
Gaines a Kuna Matata.
He did all his work off of what? Dunks and layups.
Yeah.
Dunks and layups.
He been doing that.
He
won 2 MVPs that way. Why we acting surprised like
that's my point.
We don't know how he played?
The man won MVPs, but he's shooting air balls at the free throw line. Clear air balls at 6'10". Come on, man. And that's MVP worthy.
And guess what? They won.
He have no game. His game is I'm gonna get to the basket. I'm gonna try to muscle a guy. I'm gonna throw the ball up. Yeah, they won. Give them the credit. They won. Barely. By the skin of their chin, they won.
A win is a win.
Hey, I give you a win. I'm gonna give you a win.
Especially in the playoffs.
I'm gonna give you a win, but don't crown this dude. Don't crown this dude like he the next becoming of.
We're not. Hell.
Okay.
No, we're not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. No.
Put brakes on that one.
No, I'm not saying that.
Put brakes on that one.
We know Giannis got a cap. We know that. I mean, the Bucks have a cap, but can we honestly say that there's a team left that's better than them?
That's better than the Bucks?
Exactly.
Man, you seen how LA been shooting? You seen how
LA got to get past Phoenix, man.
Well, you see how Phoenix can shoot it. You really think Gaines can come out with a game plan of I'm just gonna go to the rack and nobody else hit nothing,
I said this
and they gonna win?
But I said this.
I don't think so.
Listen, but I said this last week.
His name is Gaines now.
Yeah, his name is
now Gaines Hakuna Matata.
Hey, y'all are from the same state I'm from, Texas.
Yes.
Ain't no Giannis in Texas. It's Gaines. He gotta have a manly name.
On the Bucks,
Texas.
I said
he can't ride.
Week.
He gonna jump off a steer. Who is this? Giannis? No, can't do it.
That is his
he
name.
Gonna be his nigga. We changed it.
Right.
He American.
That's
he
cool.
Gaines now.
Gaines.
In Greece, Giannis. America, Gaines.
We'll go with it. Gaines.
And he growled with it.
But look, I said last week about the Bucks that it's not really about how Giannis plays. I told you it's about how they take advantage of easy buckets.
And they did that.
Yeah.
Very well.
They got to take advantage of easy buckets. Like, they still didn't do that. They just hit their 3-ball last night. But they still not taking advantage of easy buckets because if I see Brook Lopez shoot another 3.
Yeah.
I don't get a 7-1 guy matched up with 6'8" across him and he shoot 3. This is the new era of basketball.
He run into the 3-point line.
That's this cupcake basketball I told you about.
See, before we wrap up them, I'm just gonna say this. Brook Lopez almost killed the game for them. With that Chris Webber blunder he had.
Why was he on the bench in the first place?
Because he's a starter, and I think they try to.
You're a coach, man. You got to bench him.
They go into it. So I feel like this is what Budenholzer does. So what he does is he go into the game, starting him, and he hopes that he knows that he's probably going to be a liability on defense.
Get him going, though.
Yeah,
he wants to get him
he's
going
hoping that offensively he can get him going.
Mm-hmm.
Like let him hit a couple of shots, let him rebound. Get a couple of putbacks, run some pick and roll, all that, right? That's hopefully what he's thinking that can happen. I'm guessing. I'm not in the show. I'm hoping that I'm thinking that's what he like. Maybe if we start him on offense, get him going, start him and get him going on offense because we know on defense they pretty much trying to play him out the series.
Yeah, but the big dude got a nice touch. If you want to get him started, let him go dive to the basket and get him a dunk or a layup or a foul, right?
That's not how they play.
I don't understand this 7-1 guy going shooting 3-pointers.
Clearly, that's
when
not
he
how
got
they
a
play.
6'3" guy.
We've clearly established that that's not how they play.
I seen Trae Young rotate on him. This guy shot a 3. I was like, why?
I mean, Trae Young rotated on Giannis, and Giannis tried to back him down. Trae Young is every bit of 160.
Soaking with it.
And Giannis pulled a fadeaway.
My point, this cupcake basketball.
But I'm saying this, but we know this but we've seen this is how they play all season.
Yeah.
So why are we expecting something different?
I'm not gonna expect nothing different. I'm just gonna call it what it is. This is probably some of the horriblest basketball from a fundamental spot.
I'm with it.
Just horrible. I mean, you guys.
College word.
This is 1-on-1. We isolate.
Yeah.
We shoot a fadeaway or step back. This is the normal. Really.
So
that's the NBA now, bro.
So here's the deal. Let's talk about, their opponent. What Atlanta did to completely discombobulate Philadelphia.
I'll tell you right now, I'd love to be in Atlanta.
Well, Atlanta didn't do nothing to discombobulate Philadelphia. Philadelphia discombobulated Philadelphia.
But
they come out 3 quarters good.
But at some point in time, I feel like we have to give Atlanta credit for capitalizing on Philadelphia's defensive mishaps.
I ain't gonna crown a Trojan horse until I see a Trojan horse.
Didn't Philly blow 2 leads?
But look, Philly had
in my point exactly.
Philly had 2 leads of 26, 20 points.
Yeah,
and
20, a 26-point lead and an 18-point lead in game 5 and 6.
They forget how to play in the fourth quarter and lose, and you gonna credit Atlanta. You got to go back and say, hey, look, these guys gonna have no true leader. They big money man. Two of they big money man.
Yeah.
I didn't understand them getting big money in the first place because they play like YMCA guys. I don't understand that in the first place. You could have kept Jimmy Butler, but you traded Jimmy Butler, and you come back with Tobias Harris, and he was a no-show.
He was
a no-show.
Again, back to those role players.
And I can't say that because that Curry guy showed up. Seth showed up.
That Curry guy.
That Curry guy
bad
showed
when
up.
That
look
Steph Curry's brother.
That look guy.
I'm lit. You know,
I hate to do
his
Seth
whole
like
career,
that.
he's either been that Curry guy or Steph's
little
brother.
I hate to do him like that, little brother. But sometimes you just got to take it. I'm little brother. Little brother showed up. And
little brother was hooping.
Little brother
but we
was
said last week though. That's
performed.
like we said this already though. Philly didn't lose. Like Atlanta didn't win. Philly lost.
Philly just went in there and beat themselves with a bat.
Yeah, you can't be up in a series 2-1. And then in game 4 they blow a lead, and then game 5 they blow a lead.
Mm-hmm. And then after the series they self-destruct. I got Joel Embiid criticizing Ben Simmons. Okay, what you could have did, big fella? You the biggest man on the floor. What you doing shooting fadeaways? Call for the ball and go to the rack and dunk it if you want to be they proclaimed he was the next Shaq, right?
Another team.
Huh?
Another team where their best player played as well as he could, and nobody came with him.
We can give
Who came with
him that.
Nobody came with him.
You can give him that, but like I said again,
nobody.
At the end of the game, Embiid was just as critical as dumb shots as the rest of them.
Yeah, because Embiid definitely
so
in game 7 was taking
dumb shots,
three-pointers.
Wow,
he
plays like this
for 3 games in a row. Yeah, Wayne, listen.
This is how they play now, bro. This is how they play now.
You got a high IQ. I can give you that, young man. if you playing basketball, we on the film, and you shoot 10 threes and you ain't hitting one, and you gonna shoot 10 more, that's dumb.
That's how they play basketball. The NBA. Listen, AJ, bro, it frustrates me too. It frustrates me too. Trust me.
I'm not gonna give.
Trust me.
I'm not gonna.
You talking to the same dude who sat in his room screaming at the TV when the Rockets missed 27 straight threes.
I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna call it what it is.
Somebody go to the basket.
I'm
That's
calling
what I kept
out
saying.
what it is. Time out. Okay, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. Don't nobody want to go to the rack. I'll pick Scrub off the bench to go to the rack. Somebody
create another shot.
Look, if you're a Houston Rockets fan out there, we don't like to relive that.
Yeah.
That and the Damian Lillard shot in 2014. We don't like to relive that.
My God.
I don't like to relive when James dribbled the ball off his foot. Too many memories, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need a moment. I need a moment.
Moment of silence.
My God.
Hey, get that out of the way.
Hey, look.
Keep
so,
going, man.
Anyway, we didn't got the recaps out of the way as far as the playoffs are concerned. Right now, what are your predictions for moving forward? Let's start off with Atlanta and Milwaukee right now since they played last night. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take Milwaukee out of this series because
you think they gain control of the series after that win the other night?
No.
They coming back to Atlanta.
We still even because then you got to go back to Atlanta and you got to pull off that same performance. Mm-hmm. But you also got to hope that Trey is cool. Right. You got to hope the other guys check. That's a big if.
Yeah.
Atlanta has shooters.
They do.
They got set shooters.
And Atlanta I didn't realize how deep that team was. Missing Cam Reddish.
You know what's funny is that they were deeper. Yeah, but you said an name. So Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter aren't even playing. Yeah, so they actually are a deeper team than what they have been putting on the court.
Exactly.
Because what's my boy got in foul trouble last night? Herter. Mm-hmm. Not Herter. Who was it that got in foul trouble last night? No, Bogdanovich.
And he's still banged
up. 2 quick fouls. He got 2 quick fouls last night. So I'm like, oh, they about to go to I thought they were gonna go to Lou Will. They put Solomon Hill in, which is cool because Solomon Hill's a good defender. Mm-hmm. But that just let me know how deep they are. You know what I'm saying? Like they just kept pulling guys out. I'm like, dang.
They at this point they underestimated and they dangerous. They remind me of.
And they play together.
They remind me of what Miami did last year. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody had them on their pick, and they just cherry.
Well, I had Miami last year.
I had Miami last year. They cherry picked this, but the only difference now, they got a pure scorer, obviously. Mm-hmm. This guy Young waits to his. This guy here.
It's not just that, bro. I'm telling you.
This guy waits to big moments and put up big moments.
Once again, it's your superstar in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Your superstar is gonna be a superstar. It's all about your role players.
Well, no. Hold up,
Trae Young a superstar?
Yes,
Wayne.
He's the best player on the team. Your best player gonna be your best
player.
Wayne.
Trae Young was a solid player before this.
I know.
Nobody's predicted this dude to do this. Now let's go back. Your guy James Harden was a superstar, mega star of one's match. One of the highest paid.
Yeah, everybody look average though playing next to Kevin Durant though. I'm just saying. A lot of guys look average playing next to Kevin Durant.
He folded every year. I ain't just talking about Kevin Durant. I'm talking about he just folded every year his career in the playoff. When did he give you a good series in playoff?
Who, James?
Yeah. I haven't heard. I haven't known one. We can go find it.
If you want to go by numbers, James.
Let's get the fact checkers.
If we're going by numbers, James has had good series. If we're going by eye tests, it's been times where
when he shoot, it doesn't impress me. You shoot 34 times and you end up with 30 points. You're supposed to end up with 30 points. You shoot 34 times.
I mean, I'm with it.
Come on. I'm talking about when he had a solid game that you just said, oh, James is going to take us home.
Yeah, OKC.
Oh, man,
I mean, he took him to the NBA Finals when he was in OKC.
Oh,
he did beat the Spurs.
Oh man, come on!
He single-handedly destroyed the Spurs.
Okay,
he
man.
was the Spurs killer.
Okay, give him one out of one.
You asked for one. I gave it to you.
I told you I gave him one out of 50, but he still ain't on my bag. He ain't on my Christmas list. Hey. I drive right past him. Santa don't like him.
So you got Atlanta coming out of this series. Who you got, Wayne?
I still got Milwaukee. I said Milwaukee going to win championship. So.
You think boy,
so last week we talked about Phoenix and Milwaukee actually going to the finals. Now you say Milwaukee's winning the whole thing.
Yeah, they beat the team that they needed to beat to win. Listen, if once Brooklyn got knocked out, it wasn't nobody beat Milwaukee, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, as bad as I hate the way they play, and I hate the way that they don't take advantage of smart, easy buckets, I understand that that's not the NBA today.
Right.
As frustrated and as much of a purist as I am, and I love hey man.
I don't think you're a purist.
I am a purist because I'm all about getting an easy bucket.
Yeah,
listen,
okay. Well, let's go with it.
Yeah, I'm about making the extra
pass.
Go with it.
I don't think you're a purist.
Yes, I am. I like pure point guards just
so
like
what
you
makes
like
you
them.
think he's not
but
a purist?
I'm also very open minded. I'm also understanding that the league changes as the players change. I understand this position is
too open minded. You can't do that.
What you mean?
That's just like if I got a point guard that don't want to play point guard, such as a Westbrook. He wants to be the show. He wants to be fashion statements. He wants to be this, but then he'll say, when on the loser say, hey, man, I got a lot of pressure on my side. No, I don't give you credit for that. Tool your game. That's what you do. And you don't do it, but you cry. You want to fight the fans.
What's wrong with guys not knowing themselves?
Come on, man.
But hold on, what's wrong with guys not knowing themselves now? Like, what's wrong with players? Because I think that was the issue back then is guys tried to do too much. And that's how they end up losing games. What's wrong with players knowing, hey, this ain't my style. That's not how I play.
Back then,
and the way I play can work in this NBA today.
Back then, guys had refined lanes they stayed in. Even their own peers held them up to that. You seen Hakeem slap Maxwell upside the head.
I ain't never seen that.
Come on, man. Well, you heard the stories of it. You heard Hakeem.
I ain't heard that story. I don't know too many people that slap Brandon Maxwell and live tell about it.
You heard Hakeem stand up and tell people, "Give me the ball." Come on.
Yeah,
so what is it?
About?
What's the you said? Don't flip the script. You said
I'm not flipping the script. I'm just saying what we talking about.
You said back then they that's how they got the lane. I say
bro.
The peers held them up in their lane. How many scuffles you seen on the bench?
Not many.
You don't see nothing. It's all like a little dog and pet show. Now everybody's clapping. And, you gonna do good. No, so quit shooting, Mike. Quit shooting.
You on that narrative that the league is soft now.
I'm not on the league that the league is soft now.
Yeah, you are.
The league is cupcake now, but I'm not putting no narrative out there.
Are cupcakes not soft?
I'm not putting no league out.
The hell kind of cupcake you eating?
But my point is, I'm not putting no narrative out there. It is what it is. I didn't make 7-foot guys shoot 3-pointers. I didn't make 7-foot guys look at guards rebound.
Listen,
I didn't make that.
I think we're saying the same thing. We're just saying it differently, bro. Listen, I don't care for it either, but I understand that that's what the league is going to.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
it's there now.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't understand. I gave you a reference to it. I don't understand.
Is it that you don't understand or you don't want to understand?
I ain't trying to understand.
Okay, well now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're cooking with grease. I'm not trying to understand it. I ain't gonna understand it. I'm just not understandable on this.
So look, we're gonna wrap this up. The Suns and LA.
LA, yeah.
Who we got?
Who you got with the Suns in LA?
I'm going with Phoenix.
Well, they are the healthiest team.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always passing the health test.
Yeah.
And from what Paul George was doing last game, he kind of scared me. So I'm gonna go with, even though Booker having his little trials, which I told what I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't jump out here on the box and give guys. Y'all like to give guys pushing. Guys have a few games here and there. Y'all like to, oh, he's the great. No.
Nobody said he was the greatest.
I ain't saying you said, but I'm just saying I'm giving you a fact. I like the body of work. I look at the body of work.
I mean, he got a good body of work, man. This is his first time in the playoffs, and he's in the Western Conference Finals.
Oh God. You're a baller. I don't care if this is your first, your last. They said that
He been a baller on a bad team.
Last year with Mitchell, and look what he did.
That wasn't Donovan's his first year in the playoffs last year, though.
Now look what he did. Look what he did this year.
He played great. What are you
Okay,
talking about? He just got injured.
all right. That's what I'm getting at. Now look at Booker.
I think you're just trying to say Donovan Mitchell better than
If Pat Beverly giving Booker these problems, or is it a mode game?
Let's not go with Pat Beverly giving him problems. Let's just say that Devin Booker has been off.
Okay, let's just say he's been off.
Man, he was off one game, y'all. The game before that, he had a 40-point triple-double.
Yeah,
he had a 40-point triple-double.
He had a 41-point triple-double, and like I say.
So he had one bad game.
And what I told you.
They still up 2-1.
Well, yeah, they
still have complete control of that series.
They still up. That's facts. But if he have a couple more games like this, that can swing high quickly. We don't know, but the problem is I'm not consistent with Paul George. But if the claw come back and he still
coming back, bro, you got to give up on that. That's your boy. I know that's your boy. But you got to give up on that one.
I think he's gonna come back.
Give up on that one.
I think he's gonna come back.
Man, they snatched his ACL from him. He ain't coming back.
I think he's gonna come back.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check AJ's dental records because he's eating rock hard cupcakes. All right.
Yeah.
So
cupcakes.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and go into the U.S. Olympic news, man. We got to do that. Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about the black excellence that's going on in the Olympics right now, man. We got Sha'Carri Richardson that's just lighting up the track right now, man. She's just going crazy. Shout out to Triple D one time, man, Dallas, Texas, man. Y'all doing y'all thing out there, right? Hey, man, we got the North Carolina A&T NCAT, man, 4x400, undefeated men's track team, man. The members just going crazy, man. Like, just going crazy in Tokyo right now.
For y'all old cats, that's the mile relay. That last event. That's the mile relay.
That's the last race of the day.
They said 4x4, but back in our day, we didn't say 4x4. Mile relay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going crazy right now, man. So we just want to give a little shout out to them, man, to the all the black excellence going to the Olympics in Tokyo. We want to give a special shout out to Miss Simone Manuel. You know what I'm saying? Definitely from Sugar Land, Texas, Fort Bend, Austin, ISD, man. We definitely want to give you a shout out, baby girl. Go ahead and do your thing out there in the Olympics.
She's already a gold medalist.
Already a gold medalist.
She was in the 2016. She was in the Rio Olympics.
Yeah, she was in the last Olympics.
She was on the relay team.
Right.
So she won a gold medal.
What make that special is she doing it in a sport that black folks don't even supposed to be.
She's swimming. She's swimming.
That's special.
It seems like though all the trials seems like every sport I've seen some
that's
black
special.
guys. I've seen like I said, I told y'all earlier, I saw there was a black guy doing the
Gymnastics,
yeah. So
yeah, I haven't seen
that
one.
was pretty dope.
I haven't seen one since the 1996 Olympics.
Yeah, I actually never seen it. If I'm
that was 1996.
I never seen a black dude doing gymnastics. I thought that was pretty cool because I think we have a lot of kids that probably think gymnastics is cool, but
expand their horizon.
They probably run from it to jump on the field, jump on the court, all that kind of stuff. So
right,
kids, do gymnastics. All right, gymnastics is good for you. All right, it's a dying sport.
You know what I have been hearing people talk about is Sha'Carri's how she comes off those blocks, man. Her speed coming off those blocks.
She's horrible off the block.
Yeah, I have been hearing a lot of people,
which is kind of rare because she's short. Usually it's the
They
opposite.
usually explode well off the
Usually
block.
it's the opposite.
The taller people that are bad off the blocks. Yeah.
Usually tall people bad out the blocks, or rather, well, he never was bad out the blocks.
Nah,
if you look at it,
he wasn't great out the blocks.
He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad.
His breakaway speed is just.
Well, I mean, his stride is what kept him. Like,
but Sha'Carri is scary because, like 50 yards down the track, she catches everybody and then just puts it on them, and she's only 5'1". Most sprinters Most sprinters gonna be female sprinters will be 5, 6 and up.
I will say this though, she's not gonna be able to do that against Fraser Price.
She won't.
You know what I'm saying?
Kellyanne running.
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to do that. I'm just being honest with you. Jamaica is on a different.
She got too much experience for that too.
I don't know. She posted the fastest time this year, right?
For the trials,
for the 100,
yeah,
for the 100 period, right?
She did.
She
ran a
posted
10.64.
10.7.
Yeah.
No. She ran. Who you talking about?
Talking about Fraser Price.
No.
Yeah, she ran 10.7 too.
Yeah, 10.7
in her final.
And then
Sha'Carri ran a 10.64.
She posted. She
in her final she ran a 10.64.
Okay.
She posted the fastest by far. But again, Joe, track is one of those things. We could look at 20 different races. It's like riding a motorcycle. You can get on it and jump on it and jump on it. It'll do something different every time. So it's kind of hard to just say, well, she can't do this and come out the blocks right. But hey,
every race is different. Bro.
I'm pulling for it.
Oh,
track and field is crazy because it almost sometimes it depends on what lane you in. Like if you in a lane where you next to somebody that's gonna push you.
Yeah,
you can run a time that you didn't think you could run. It's a lot of variables.
And then you got to catch the wind speed.
Yeah,
coming,
it's a lot of variables. Track and field
on your back, the tailwind, all this. We got variables in it, but again,
it's a lot of things track and field. I'm not gonna act like I know everything about track and field.
I'm
right.
I know enough to know that it's.
And you got
it's hard.
And you got to also think she's underage basically for running this.
She's 21.
Exactly. You don't have too many. She broke the record for the youngest athlete to make it to the Olympics, right?
I'm not sure.
She's setting the bar pretty high.
I just think, man, listen, the gold medal was hers to lose. I'll just be honest with you. The gold medal was hers to lose. In the 400, we got guys that can. We got the hurdles. We got Grant Holloway in the hurdles. We got. Who we got for the 100 for the men? We got my boy, what's his name, Bramil.
Well, we got a bunch of guys in the 100. There ain't no clear cut chase right there for the men, for the USA men. But Bramil is might as well say he the leader versus the time because he showed.
I mean, he been the leader the whole year.
Yeah, he been showing. He been
running the whole year like the best.
Yeah, he been showing up.
Yeah, my boy Noah Lyles didn't make it though. Hopefully, make it in the 200. He's supposed to be running the 200 tonight. I think the semifinal is tonight for the 200.
Well, if he get in at 200, he could be a scratch for the 100.
No, he didn't make the 100.
No, but you have an alternate. You got to have an alternate.
Oh, he won't be alternate. That boy got 7th in the final. he got 7th in that final. He not no alternate. He the alternate after the alternate after the alternate. You know?
So look, this is what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna go ahead and hop into a little Houston sports, man. As you know, we are based out of H-Town, so we gotta give a little love and show a little love to our Houston home teams, man. So for right now, we're gonna get on these Astros, right?
That's the only home team we can show love to right now.
only
competitive home team in the stadium right now.
Facts, that might be the only team.
Am I capping? No.
Shout out.
It's not the Astros' fault that they made major boss moves and the rest of them slipping.
We're not finna
it's not their fault.
I'm not even about to do that because it was a lot of other teams doing the same thing the Astros are doing. So, but that's another story.
Yes, we're not going to get into the cheating.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how great they're playing and their chances.
We don't even want to talk about the cheating because that was peanuts. That was peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting beat up for peanuts. We seen far worse and nothing happened.
Oh, far worse.
And nothing happened. But let's get to this record they was on. They had an 11-game winning streak.
Yeah, they did.
Then lost today. I'm not mad.
No,
I'm not mad. No. I'm kind of mad, but I
feel like that when the game got postponed last night, they kind of broke their stride. They broke their rhythm a little bit. But it's cool. It's a long season.
I thought they needed a rest.
Baseball players don't need no rest. Baseball players want to play every day. They want to play every day. They want to play every day. But yeah.
But only concern with that team for me is the bullpen.
Yep.
Deep in the playoffs, gotta have a bullpen
and the bottom of the lineup, the bottom of the order. That's an issue for me too.
The bottom of
the order get a little inconsistent. In the middle of the order, get too antsy. They strike out a lot with Jordan. Carlos get a little antsy.
But
I need Jose to stop swinging at every first
Those
pitch.
are power hitters. I expect that right there. Those are power hitters.
I mean,
right
I
there.
get it.
They trying to go yard.
Mm-hmm.
But
every at bat don't need you to go yard though.
Well, no, but
you get some runs.
Well, no,
I need you to be a hitter.
Well, no, but you can't change. You can't change a beast from being a beast neither. So, You kind of gotta live with that at moments.
Man, have you ever seen what's the movie with my boy Brad Pitt where he played the owner, the GM? Moneyball, yeah, that's my movie, man. When he was trying to recruit the team, put the team together, and everybody was like, "Man, this guy's hitting this and this guy's hitting that." And he was like, "What can he do? He can get on base."
Hey,
that's how I think.
Okay, man.
I don't care. Can you get on base?
No.
I don't care if you can hit 600-foot bombs, dog. When I need you to get on base, can you get on base? Hey, man, it's one out. It's a run on first. I need that runner to get to third, and I need you to get on base so we can put pressure on somebody. We need to put pressure on the pitcher. We need him to make perfect pitch. So I need you to walk, get a hit to get him to third, or put it over the fence.
I think that's what is the difference in great teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, because you need that in the playoffs. Numerous amounts of times, you know, especially in, what was it, 2019 World Series?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. Last year.
Dodgers in Tampa Bay.
Talk about just last year. They had multiple times where we just need you to get on base.
Oh, we talking about specifically the Astros?
Yes.
Because if we going off of the ALCS, yeah, it was plenty of times where I was like, just get on. Can we just?
Yeah. If you could,
Game 7.
Yeah.
They
Game
left
7.
how many stranded? About 12, 13?
Yeah, like it was. And first of all, we're not going to even talk about how they was down 3-0 in that series and they came back and almost won it. So that would have been a first.
So let me say this. Before we end off the MLB right now, who is your favorite baseball team? Is it the Astros?
They always been mine because of Nolan Ryan. I fell in love with him when that man charged a mile on Nolan Ryan. He started putting them uppercuts on him. Oh boy, yeah. I was a Nolan Ryan fan then.
Yeah.
I seen him at the rodeo, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Oh man,
I see Nolan in it. Nolan always at the games or he at the rodeo. He doing it there.
Yeah, I seen the old man. When he put them uppercuts on that youngster on that mound. Oh boy,
Astros my team.
Ankles, huh? Oh man, I wanted to jump out there with it. Start swinging, baby.
Astros my squad too. I got I got love for like certain players. You know, but if I have to go team, though, that's the home team, bro. That's the Astros. But I got favorite players. You know, I love them young guys. I love Acuna, and I like Fernando Tatis. He just hit 3 home runs last night.
They just keep pulling up young guys. They'll lose like 2 or 3, and you be like, oh my God, we ain't gonna make it next year. And then here comes somebody else. And you be like, what is they doing over there in their farm? I give AJ Hinch his problem. He did that the right way.
The Astros have a great farm system.
He built it the right way. He built it from the ground up.
Especially I don't know who is they scouting for pitching, but I love they scouts for pitching. And then my boy Brett Strong, the pitching coaches. Nobody second to none. Top 2, not 2.
What you think about the new manager now, Baker?
Who, Dusty?
Yeah, what you
That's
think?
my dog. Dusty been my dog since he was navigating with the Giants when he was trying to figure out how he can keep Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds from killing each other.
Hey man, that was a good point, but my thing was I like him. Yeah. I like him. I truly do. I think he was a top-notch guy. But I think AJ Hinch got robbed.
Well, listen,
I think he should still be there.
AJ was the fall guy. AJ was the fall guy. I mean, somebody got to take the fall. If you get accused of all this and they say you was cheating, you can't as a manager, you're not keeping your job.
Hey man, New England didn't get rid of Bill Belichick. They got rid of all the players.
They also kept winning. When you're winning, you can do what you want.
Astros were still winning.
They won the World Series in 2017. Got knocked out in the ALCS the next year. Went to the World Series the next year, lost. Then got knocked out in the ALCS. So they only won technically one time.
I could kill this. They were still in the thick of things, wasn't they?
Yeah, but in the thick of it and winning is 2 different things.
Okay.
You saying in the thick of it?
I see your point, but I'm still.
Well, when it comes to your job security,
do you want to be known as the guy that he competed every year, or do you want to be known as a champ?
Hey, he was a champ. And he kept putting the product out. He the engineer.
Listen, I'm with you, brother.
I don't want him to go.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. But they needed a fall guy. AJ had to be the fall guy. Listen, he landed on his feet. He doing all right.
Man, you could have fired the general manager.
He in Detroit. Matter of fact, they just played Detroit, so they saw him. He all right. He doing good.
That's all right.
So look, right now,
I don't like it.
We gonna go ahead and get into these Rockets.
You don't like change, AJ.
Yeah. I could deal with good positive change, but when it's a sellout sucker move, I just don't deal with it. I just don't deal with it.
So speaking of change, man, the Rockets are doing a big change up right now because this is something we haven't seen in quite some time as far as the Rockets being in a rebuilding stage.
This is like the time when they got rid of all the players after the championship, then traded Olajuwon the next year, and then they had nothing.
It wasn't the next year.
No, it wasn't next year. They tried to make another run with them older guys when they brought Charles Barkley in and they brought Scottie Pippen in.
No. I'm not after that. I'm talking about right after they got rid of Horry, they brought in Drexler. They had Drexler. They had Barkley. They had
That's what I'm talking about.
They had Akeem, and then
96.
they had another guy. I think it was Eddie.
96, 97.
It was 97, 98, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that stint, it was nothing. They got rid of Akeem. It was nothing. Nothing.
Well, actually, 96 was when they brought Barkley in. They had in 96.
They brought Pippen.
Yeah, after
No, they didn't bring Pippen after Jordan retired. It was 99 then.
Yeah,
and then we went from that to Contino Mobley and Steve Francis dribbling and shooting.
I like Steve though, man.
I did.
He was a baller, but
I like Steve. Steve and Coutinho, that's still one of my favorite backcourts, man.
But they was just too much shooters. They thought too much alike. Did nobody think pass first? Everybody was fire this thing up and let's keep it crunk.
So here's the deal. The Rockets.
You don't like shooters? You don't like people that can score? I'm trying to understand. You don't like point guards that can score?
If you can score, you can score. But golly, come on, some consideration for the other players on the floor. Just going
they
down.
Ain't coming with. Listen. What Kobe said. Why would I pass you the ball and you don't work as hard as me? If I seen your work ethic in practice, in warm-ups, during training, during film study, if I know you ain't working as hard as me and you sitting here begging me for the ball, why would I pass it to you? Why? I know I can make the shot. I don't know if you can.
Did you really go there?
So
what's the best shot? Kobe with 4 men on him?
Ask Kobe. I don't know.
Versus a wide open dunk to the paint.
Ask Kobe. I can't tell you.
We can't ask Kobe no more.
Just
bless
saying.
his soul, bless his heart. We can't ask you no more.
But
then again, I like them kind of players. I like them Kobe.
I don't want you to misconstrue. I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying though. I don't want you to think that I completely understand how Kobe played because for a long time I hated the way Kobe played. For a long time it took me growing older and gaining a little more IQ to understand this the way Kobe played and understanding Kobe Bryant. For a long time I hated the way Kobe Bryant played, but I understand his mindset. I understand like if I outwork you, then I trust me more than I trust anybody else. I understand that. Because he understands he has the utmost belief in himself. So
that's nice to have the utmost belief in himself.
I mean, if you don't, who will?
I tell Kobe again, what you rather have, 4 men on you shooting the fade away, or dunk from?
And Kobe gonna say, I'm shooting it.
Yeah, I know.
Kobe gonna say, I'm shooting it.
So here's the thing. With Kobe Bryant being one of the, most elite players to ever play the game, in the Lakers organization, actually.
No, in the NBA, period. He just give him what it do. He was one of the elite to ever lace up a tennis shoe in the NBA period.
That's what he said.
No, I thought you said in the organization, a Lakers organization.
No.
Okay, I thought.
You listening too hard.
Because he ready to get on. He ready to get on them Lakers. He ready to get on them Lakers.
Man, I ain't no Laker fan.
About the Lakers is the Lakers organization made those moves in order to acquire Kobe Bryant in that trade in '96 draft. So what I want to talk about is what is the best move that y'all feel the Rockets should make when it comes to this number 2 pick that they got?
Trade out of the number 2 pick.
Wow. Was not expecting that.
But for me, it's kind of hard to say because in this draft, I don't see no clear and cut guys I can just build a team on. I don't see that.
It's not that for me.
I see some nice acquisitions. You can go get you some nice shooters, nice assets, but I don't see that guy that you could just say he's my rock foundation. Right. He's gonna be the next. He's gonna be the next big thing. And I don't see that.
Let me tell you why I said.
I want y'all to speak, but I want to give my
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I said trade out number 2 pick. One, I was banking on them getting that number 1. Rockets been playing so bad they can't even win the number 1 pick. Like, dang, you losing that much this year? But that's another story. But anyway, but I feel like the Rockets should trade out a number 2 pick because. Honestly, I feel like it'll be what's my boy from Oklahoma State, Cunningham. He'll be the number 1 pick. That will leave probably Suggs to fall to number 2, and the Rockets don't need more guard play, so they don't need a guard. So if there's nothing there for you at that spot, trade back or trade for something else.
Well, you got Evan Mobley.
You got a big guy.
You got Evan Mobley. He's 7 foot. He has all the intangibles.
He got a twin brother. You can get both of them.
He looks more like a Chris Bosh than he does Anthony Davis, but he has all the intangibles. The only thing about Evan Mobley is that Evan Mobley is coming into this thing as a project for any team that's going to draft
he
him.
definitely a project.
So for that'd be for Cleveland.
You talking right to the Rockets. You talking right into their hands. You talking like if you saying that a project, because the Rockets are a project for the next 3-4 years.
Exactly.
What other move you gonna get? Trade one of your draft picks off for a superstar?
Why not?
Who want to come? That's the point. Who want to come?
I think it's a lot of people that would want to come to Houston.
What? Y'all got to get out of this thinking that Houston ain't a spot to come to.
I ain't gonna say that. Well, we know it's a lovely spot to come to. We ain't talking about the city. We talking about the play on the court. Who wants to come to Houston and start from scratch?
Are they starting from scratch?
Get me a superstar.
I think you got players.
Give me a
like
superstar.
A Jayshawn Tate, that are really good guys that you can bring in and build around. Christian Wood, they got KPJ, Kenyon Martin Jr. They got they got a good core of young guys. I mean, because if you look at it, the teams that are really, young teams that are making moves right now, Atlanta and Phoenix, they did the same thing.
They did the same thing, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And all they did was Phoenix added a veteran guy.
That's true, but usually
Atlanta did it too. Atlanta did it in the middle of the season. They added the wheel.
Usually when we build, we always missing pieces. And we forever missing pieces.
That was under the Morey tenure.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about this is now Raphael Stone's tenure, and he may do things completely differently than what Daryl Morey did. See, keep in mind, Daryl Morey would have already traded that number 2 pick away because he believed in superstar, and put something around those superstars. Forget.
Don't worry about the draft.
Don't worry about the draft. Don't worry about coaching up players.
Because he was in a win now mindset. He was in a win now mindset.
He was, but I also think part of this goes to the owners too. Don't forget, we're in Texas. A bunch of this stuff happens. It is directly from the owner. Well,
you got to also understand that Tillman is different than Les Alexander as well.
Yeah, he ain't got a lick of sense. He don't know when to shut up. You want to keep going? He needs $340 million on a PPP loan when he owns every pop of those around town. Now he bringing up the price of my fish plates to $30. I can't deal with him no more. You want to keep going on, but with Till?
He mad. He's saying I ain't never stepping foot in Landry's again.
He's mad about a fish plate.
Messing up my fish plate. What's wrong with him?
So, man, look. So I'm just hung up on this fish plate here.
Man, $30.
So Wayne, you say they should trade the pick away.
I think they should trade it away only because it's if I'm the GM, I know Cade Cunningham's going number 1. I was hoping to get
Do you think that?
I was hoping
because Detroit has just come out and said that they don't know yet.
I don't know who's number 1. I still don't know who's number 1.
They're saying that because they don't want to tip their hat. They are going Cade Cunningham, and I think the next pick will be either Suggs or it may be Mobley. But I feel like because we're so unsure about Mobley, I don't know if the Rockets are going to take that guy.
But Suggs still have his trials and tribulations too.
Yeah, but now teams are more apt to take guards than big men.
That's facts, but
because it's becoming positionless ball.
That's facts, but I don't see none of them as my clear. Like I said, I don't see nobody just clear and cut here. I mean, if you the GM right now, you got to pretty much just lay it on the coach who you want.
So I'm gonna say this, and we gonna end this topic. One person that nobody's really talking about, and they should be right now, and I feel like the Rockets, if you're not gonna be able to get Cade Cunningham, because it's hard to pass up on a 6'8" guy, you know what I'm saying, with those types of intangibles that's ready to go now.
He would have been great with Christian Wood in that pick and roll.
But I think the next best guy is not Jalen Suggs and it's not Evan Mobley. If you're not gonna go big man, it's Jalen Green. I've seen this guy play. Jalen Green is a monster. And when I say if you can pair him with KPJ, that backcourt is going to be phenomenal.
What are they doing with John Wall?
John Wall,
trade him.
Basically, no, you can't trade him because you'd have to buy him. Nobody's going to trade for him. You have to buy him out, and you don't want to do that.
You don't think nobody would take a gamble on Wall?
They're not.
What are they doing with Eric Gordon?
They're not. I think they're going to do the same thing with the John Wall. You're going to allow him to run his contract out. So you don't have to be in those situations. Just allow them to be, work with your young guys. Do what you can with them for right now and let their time expire.
You know who I think will be a sleeper? That guy from Baylor. That young guard from Baylor. I would go out and try to get him on a real quiet note and let him develop.
Guards.
If
they don't, but if you're gonna go guard, Jalen Green.
I mean, you said
Rockets don't need guards.
You ain't sold on Gordon. He might be hurt.
No, I'm saying what is Eric Gordon gonna?
He might be hurt.
I'm asking what are the Rockets gonna do with Eric Gordon, because I'm a firm believer in you still need that veteran leadership on your team. Now I don't know if it's gonna be Eric Gordon, but you still need that. You need a guy that just knows, that's been there before. You know.
Well, that's true, but
to bring up the younger guys.
They ain't for certain that you can play them cards every play. They stay hurt. My point.
I agree with you. Listen, we all on the same page when it comes to Houston Rockets, bro.
So
we all on the same
to
page.
me, I'm trying to wheel and deal them. I'm trying to get. Hey man, look.
But what you willing and dealing for? You willing and dealing for the future, or you willing and dealing? You trying to win right now? What are you trying to do?
I'm always trying to win right now. Future is tomorrow. I might not live to see tomorrow, so I'm trying to get. That's facts.
That's
true. I'm with that's real.
Trade the number 2 pick away.
I wouldn't trade that number 2. I keep all my picks. If I'm the GM, I'm keeping all my picks. Yeah. I'm trying to trade some of these veterans away for some more assets, like you say, some veteran assets. Okay. 3 years in that I think can blossom into something I can work with.
Okay,
that's me.
Okay, well,
but like you get in, you say it's hard to get rid of Wall and Gordon. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, financially it is.
Wow, yeah.
So here's the deal: we're not going to even bring up the Texans. We're gonna leave them where they at. Anyway, so
ain't even worth talking about.
They ain't even worth talking about.
Oh my!
We're gonna get into some more of the NFL right now. We're gonna talk about it because a lot of people ain't been talking about the NFL right now. So,
do you want to go with your first pick, your favorite team of the NFL of all time? You want to start out with
before we go into the NFL, we're gonna take a little quick break, all right? Just to give a little breather right now. So when we get back, we're gonna talk about this NFL, man. Get into this NFL bag, all right?
For sure.
Clutching Around Sports Talk. See,
this is gonna be hard.
Yo, what it is, we are back. This is Clutching Around Sports Talk, and we about to get into this NFL bag right now, right? So what I want to do right now is I want to first start off by introducing your favorite football team, who you've been rocking with, what you rocking with now, and who you've been rocking with since you actually started getting into the game, understanding of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Wayne, so you can go ahead and start it off.
All right, so my favorite football team is I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm a homer too, though. As much as stupid as the Texans are acting right now, I still tune into them and watch them on Sundays. But I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, and the reason why, I know it's crazy, like a Houston guy, like love the Packers, but they travel well. Hey, we travel well. Leave us alone. But the reason why I'm a Packers fan is because the first game I ever watched was a Green Bay Packer game. When the first game I ever understood what I was watching, as far as like, oh, this is a football game, this is a professional football game, was the Green Bay Packers game. I can't remember who they were playing. I just know Brett Favre was the quarterback. He threw a touchdown. He ran halfway down the field, going crazy. And I was like, who is this crazy white boy being happy? And I saw the joy in his eyes, and it made me have joy for the game. And I was like, man, I want to watch him every week. So I started watching them, and they developed into a love for the team. And I'm green and gold. My heart bleed green and gold. So
cheesehead.
I'm a cheesehead. Like, but my squad is we're at a crossroads right now.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the deficiencies of each squad. But before that, man, we want to see what AJ got going on. Who's your favorite squad and why are they your favorite squad?
My favorite squad is the 49ers.
Cut his mic off.
No, never do that. My 49ers, I'll go way back. I remember the first time I just really fell in love with them. My dad, it was Cowboys versus 49ers. My dad, an African Cowboy fan. African. I mean, he loved them. Dirt and die.
Dirt and die.
Dirt and die. That's a new one right there.
My 49ers beat them. My 49ers beat them. I was so proud, man. He bought me the quilts for the bedspreads and everything and matching the room. Oh, man, I was like a king for that day. And I've been looking for that moment ever since, but it's all right. It's all right.
I stopped being a 49er fan when they shunned my boy Colin. Ooh, that's another story. Never mind. Let's keep going. I'm sorry.
So we going to get into a real NFL bag.
Hey.
So, look, listen. Now that we know that, we have the favorite teams out. And shout out to the Green Bay Packer fans out there and the 49er fans, and of course the Houston Texans fans out there. Yeah. You know, because that's my team. I ain't got no other team. You know, right now Houston Texans are my team, but at the same time, the Texans ain't really. You know,
they ain't in the position. They ain't in the position. We just gonna say the Texans is not in a position to win right now.
But you always want the hometown to win.
You do.
You always want the home. I don't care where you at. You want the hometown to win because it brings a bunch of positives to the city.
Bring good morale.
Yeah.
But however, oh my God, this is ugly. This is gonna be an ugly season again.
Right, because here's the thing, the NFL right now. Is bringing in some new rules that some players have been divisive on, and some players have, kind of, adapted to or about to adapt to. With the start of the NFL season, a couple of the rules that we got going on is the NFL is moving from 16 games to 17 games.
I can't believe it.
It's going to cut off one of the preseason games.
I can't believe it.
From 4 to 3. So what we want to talk about and what I want to get you guys' opinion on is basically, what do you think about adding an extra game to the NFL season, cutting a game away from the preseason, because that affects the guys that are trying to make an NFL roster. That's one less game that they have to prove themselves in order to make their 52-man roster. Okay. So I want to get you guys' opinion, and I'm going to start this segment off with AJ on his opinion on what it's like.
It definitely ain't a fair game for the players. However you cook it up. They're not. It's not fair. Okay, you're going from 16 to 17 games. Then you cutting off a preseason game. Basically, that's what you're doing.
Cutting off an irrelevant game and adding a relevant game.
Adding a relevant game. But at the same time, you got to think, like you say, all the players who trying to prove themselves. Then you got to think about all the veterans who trying to coast their health in to the big bang start. Okay, now they gotta cut everything short and go earlier. With all this COVID protocol and all this.
Now you got to make it another week of being healthy.
It's really just greed at its best, because they looking at revenue. They looking at top-notch revenue. And then you got to add on playoff games for the teams who going through the stretch. That's really unnecessary. I mean, 16 was enough. You got to think back before they went to the 16 schedule, they were playing 12.
No, 14. They were playing 14, wasn't it?
I thought it was 12.
I think it was 14.
Let's bring it up. Let's see.
Okay, but
see if we can get that.
But my point is, you extending this season one game for what? Because by that time it's gonna be set in stone what the playoffs gonna be. So if you're a smart coach, what you gonna do with your players? Rest them.
Yeah.
So you still not getting what you want.
Right. So, in my opinion, I'm actually for it because I love football. So I love to watch extra football. That just makes it that also just makes it more interesting. It makes it another week of competitive football. But I'm against it because I'm looking at what happened in the NBA this season and how they kind of rushed everybody back from the COVID rack season, and they rushed everybody back and they shortened their season. But you dealt with so many injuries. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's going to happen with the NFL this year, where we may be dealing with actually it happened last year, because I can't forget how we did in fantasy, how we would just every team was dealing with injuries. I drafted Christian McCaffrey #1. I think I played with him like 2 times.
And this is grueling, man. This is grueling.
Yeah, and this is a tougher sport to add an extra game. Like I said, I'm with it because I'm looking at it from a business mindset. I understand why they're looking. They want to make their money back that they lost last season. So I get that. They're trying to make their revenue back. But I'm against it as far as I'm thinking about the injuries. I'm thinking about the long-term health of these players. I'm thinking about the interest of is it going to bleed into another sport, because that'll bleed into basketball start getting more interesting around that time. Because if you go another extra week, now you're going into All-Star weekend with basketball. By the time the Super Bowl get around,
all money ain't good money.
I
all
agree
money
with
ain't
you.
good money.
And I agree with you.
Some of that should just left alone.
But I still understand it, and that's why I'm for it, because I understand why they're doing it. You got to make it up some kind of way, and understand this was presented to the players.
But you're for it from a fan's perspective.
I'm for it from a fan perspective, and from as a business, like on a business tip. Like, I'm with it. I understand. Like, you got to make the revenue back, and the best way to make the revenue back is hey, everybody may have to pull a little more extra weight. That's how you do it in the regular.
I don't think
if I had a restaurant and we were closed for a week, I may keep us open an extra 2. Say we close on Sundays. Hey, we're gonna be open for the next 2 Sundays. Everybody got to pull a little extra weight. That's just basically saying you got to play an extra game. So I'm with it on that because you got to make the money back. As a business, you want the business to keep going, right?
Look,
you got to keep the money flowing.
Look, 1 week ain't gonna hurt you. Let's do it just on the average. Let's do it on the average. An average McDonald's across America will probably profit $3 million. Okay, if I close for a week, it's not hurting the owner to lose a few $100,000.
That's not how the owner thinking.
Well, I know that, but you
got to think like an owner, bro.
But he also got to think like a businessman too. At this point,
thinking like a businessman thinking his business got to keep going.
Wait a minute, you only got certain many employees. Now, if you cram them in there, your product might get bad. You possibly lose profit.
You think they
right?
care about? So businessman, are they worrying about their product? A good businessman worrying about his product. He will worry about the quality of his product.
Exactly.
But you also got to know what business you in the NFL, where your you gonna have that team, whether they bad or good. It's your team. You're the owner of the team. And as simple as that. So all you gotta do is keep revenue in enough to pay the players, enough to pay your coaches, and enough to fill some seats.
And whether your team bad or good, you'll make profit. But
exactly. That's how they thinking. That's exactly how they're not thinking we need to win. You think Jacksonville think about winning?
I hope they is, because, I hope they is, because, you have too many dismal seasons like that.
Jacksonville not thinking about winning?
That's just horrible.
Jacksonville not thinking about winning?
That's just flat out horrible.
Not even with the draft that they made with Trevor Lawrence?
No.
No, bro, they're not winning. They're not winning, bro.
No. He going to be running for his life.
They're not winning, bro.
If he can get out.
They're not winning, bro. And that division just got better. Because Julio just joined that division.
That division getting totally better. But
wow.
So
I completely forgot.
And Carson Wentz just joined that division.
That
completely he's now the quarterback for the Colts.
It's getting totally
that
better.
division got better. Well, those are the top 2 teams in that division because we ain't even get on Texas.
That's the 3rd time or 4th time we've said that. About this.
No point.
But it's the truth, though.
Real is real, man.
No point. They looking at a 4. They looking at a 4 and
4.
You think they can't win 4 games? I give them
4.
I give them 4 games.
Who playing quarterback?
Actually,
I give them 4 games.
The prediction is 1.
Wow.
The prediction is 1.
I give them 2.
I'm gonna give them 4 games.
I give them 2 because I feel like they can at least beat Jacksonville once.
I'm gonna give them 4 games. Somebody else gotta come in and take you lightly.
I'm giving them 2 because I'm like, man, they can
beat Jacksonville. You gotta have a miracle game here. Then you gotta have somebody had injuries plagued. So I'm gonna give them 4.
See, we said we wasn't gonna get into them, but the thing is, they still haven't figured out their situation with quarterback right now. So
you know why they haven't figured out their quarterback.
They have an open trial. They have open trials for every position.
And the world knows why.
They have an open trials for every position, even coaching.
It has been really quiet about that, though. I'm just throw that out there.
Very quiet about it. They haven't figured it out. They don't know what they're gonna do yet. So with that being said, I don't see them winning.
Too many games.
Too many games.
Too many games. I said I give them 2 because I think they can beat Jacksonville one time and maybe get an upset on another division team, the Colts of the Titans. They may catch them slipping. They may catch them slipping in the last week of the season.
Somebody slipping. You gotta catch somebody.
Like, they already clinched. Texas coming out here full blast with their whole team on the field.
You gotta catch somebody. You gotta catch somebody slipping. Yeah. So I'm gonna give them 4.
So you give them. I said 2. You said you doubling.
I'm gonna give them 4.
4.
I'm gonna stay with my 4.
I'm having a hard time seeing 4 wins on the Texas schedule.
Still my 4.
So what we're gonna do is because another rule that has been brought to my attention is the COVID protocol that they got for vaccinated and unvaccinated players.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, what I want to do is I want to wrap up this part of the segment, which I want to say, what do you have? What's your prediction for your 49ers and what's your prediction for your Packers?
My 49ers, I don't see us making the playoffs.
That's a tough division.
I see us more or less the same as last year. Maybe 8-8. Well, 8-9 now. or maybe 10, or maybe 10-8 at the best.
Okay.
I don't see
10-7.
10. Well, yeah, you got the extra game killing me, bro.
Yeah, extra game is throwing you off. I know.
Why we got an extra game?
You mad about it?
Yeah, because it's throwing my numbers off. Now, I'm a numbers man. Even numbers. I like even numbers.
With them 49ers, man.
But
that's a tough division, bro. You got Seattle.
Yes, and then
LA got better because then they got Matthew Stafford at quarterback.
But not only that, they got some more pieces of defense, I think.
They actually lost some people. The Rams actually lost a few pieces. They lost their safety. They lost the corner. But I mean, they still good. They were the number one defense last year, and as long as they got Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald,
that's all you need. You got your key focus. You got your key on the back end.
You got a pass rusher, and you got a lockdown corner. So
so.
And they got good. And they got another.
They got linebackers. They got linebackers that can run side to side.
Yeah, they got a good team. That's what I'm saying. That's a good division, man. I mean,
but on our end,
can't sleep on the Cardinals.
On our end, the offense is the biggest problem. We'll get better because we're getting pieces back. But however, I'm still not. Who's gonna be my quarterback?
I was about to ask you who's
gonna be my quarterback.
You want Garoppolo? Or
No. Garoppolo killed me in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Okay, what about Trey Lance? You like Trey Lance? Did you like that? Did you like that pick at number 3?
I didn't like that pick.
Why not?
I would go with the proven commodity, Ohio State. Why would I go with Trey Lance when I know
Ohio State? Hold on, pause. Ohio State's a proven commodity. Name me a quarterback that came out of Ohio State that's proven.
Wait a minute. Who you gonna put your games on? Didn't you see this young man? Didn't you see this young man ball out against everybody until he got hurt against Clemson?
We talking about
the quarterback from Ohio State.
You talking about we talking about Justin Fields.
Fields.
Yeah.
Listen.
Disclaimer.
He went to the championship game hurt.
I like Justin. No. He wasn't. He was getting beat up in the game.
He was hurt.
He was getting beat up.
He was hurt before he got to the game.
Defense
he was hurt before he got to the game.
You got to remember, he took that vicious hit from Schlousis from Clemson, and he went out the game. And he wasn't right when he got into the game. Yeah. He couldn't bend over. He couldn't move. He couldn't.
What does that have to do with how he gonna be in the league? I love Justin Fields because originally he was at Georgia, I thought he shouldn't have left Georgia. I think they did some. I think my boy did it wrong. Kirby should have started him, and he should have benched my boy that was starting. So
that was a dumb move from Jump Street because he wasn't. But Kirby smart to make dumb decisions from get go too. I mean, you still trying to pound. You still trying to ground and pound against the Alabama team.
Yeah.
How many games you gonna win like that?
None.
All right. But anyway,
not against Alabama.
But anyway,
air it out against Alabama.
But anyway, he have a proven commodity. I see him. I see some gifts in him. Mm-hmm. I see some homing. Well, I see some homing you have to do.
We still talking about Justin Fields?
Yeah, but look, every player think they can make a big play, so I can't hold that against him. But with this Trey Lance guy, I don't know who he playing. He playing North Dakota State.
Yeah.
He just comes out of nowhere.
He didn't come out of nowhere. He just didn't play this year because of COVID.
What time out? He didn't play the year before COVID, but the year before that, was he on your radar as a top draft pick? No. He just comes out of nowhere, and you saying, "Well, this is the next big thing," and I'm saying, "Okay, well, let me see the air ball." I don't see no stress on him.
So you don't think
he's not fast.
So you don't think y'all have a quarterback?
He's not fast. He's not going to be just bulldogging over linebackers in the NFL.
Right.
I mean, so what about the game that made me think that this guy can be my cornerstone?
Well, so with that being said, you give you guys a pretty average record this year, middle of the pack.
I do,
especially
in that division.
Middle of the pack, because you got to be straight dog. You got to be a straight dog in that division.
Them West divisions, man.
You got Seattle, Rams,
in the AFC and in the NFC, they both tough.
And then you can't even count out the Cardinals. They done add more acquisitions.
They added AJ Green,
JJ Watt.
They added JJ Watt. Yep.
I mean, what is we thinking? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. He thinking 2-3 years
down
the line. But this is not a given. This is not a given. You got this kind of time.
So, what about the Packers?
Man, we gotta see. We gonna get a quarterback.
Ooh.
I don't even know.
Ooh.
I actually like the Packers at every position except D tackle and quarterback.
Well, y'all safeties were suspect.
And linebacker.
Y'all safeties,
inside linebacker.
Cornerbacks were suspect.
No, we got better at corner because we drafted our first round pick was a corner.
Yeah, but that's the first round pick. You don't know how they gonna pan out.
I do know how they. Our last first round cornerback is an All Pro. I'm just saying.
Settle down, youngster.
I'm just saying.
It's different times, different years.
What you mean? That was just the dude that we drafted 2 years ago. Jay Alexander was the.
He was all right.
All right, he's all pro.
He was all right. I seen him. I see him play. I see he all right. Let's not crown him the Deion Sanders like he just.
I'm not saying he Deion. All I
said
is he's an all pro.
People now.
All I said is he's an all pro.
I mean,
Deion to tell you ain't nobody Deion.
Because when I look at 95% of the cornerbacks, defensive backs that play from high school on up to pro, they still do one technique wrong. Turn and look at the receiver.
What you mean?
You pressing? You on top of the receiver? There's no point in you turning and looking at.
You mean looking at the quarterback?
No, they ain't looking at the quarterback. That's another problem.
That's the problem.
When you a fundamental cornerback, you go watch Deion Sanders. You go watch Champ Bailey. They never ever turn and just look at a receiver and run with it. You beat.
That's man coverage.
Then you beat. No, sir, that's not how you play man coverage. Man coverage, you playing leverage. You on this corner, you know you 1-on-1 with this corner. You turn it to him. You watching the quarterback. You keeping your eye on him. He gonna do one or two things. He gonna go this way or he gonna try to cut in front of you. He ain't got that many options.
You talking about zone?
I ain't talking about no zone. Yeah, I'm talking about press coverage.
Press coverage. Press coverage. You playing the man. It's called man to man for a reason because you're playing the man.
Wayne,
you're not.
Wayne,
You're not about to explain it to
Wayne,
me. I'm a defensive back
Wayne,
coach.
Trust me on this. You're not a defensive back coach if you're teaching your kids how to turn around and run with a guy that's 6'3", 6'5", because you're gonna lose every time. It's a jump ball in there. He's not gonna get it.
Through his hands. He played through his hands.
Oh my God! Come on, Wayne.
Come on, Wayne. You gonna tell me?
Come on, Wayne. How many times? You can't even touch defenders no more.
Look,
come on now, Wayne.
Look, I will say he just got appointed the job as a high school football DB coach.
Well, he still need to get some toolage from me.
Oh wow!
He steady throwing out.
I call you when I give up 40.
He steady throwing out a bone that I'm telling him it ain't working.
I call you when we give up 40.
And we will be at the games this year, man, to support the homie, man.
Yeah, what high school is this, Wayne?
I don't know if I want to say this on TV.
Just say it out on TV, man.
I'll tell you off camera.
I'll tell you off camera. We're going to keep it off camera.
I'll tell you off camera.
Come on, man.
But look, here's what we're going to do, man, because we already over time on this topic here. We want to get into the other rule for the NFL, which is the COVID protocol for vaccinated and unvaccinated players. So we're going to kind of speed past this a little bit and get into it, right? So for COVID testing, for vaccinated players, no daily test requires. For unvaccinated players, daily testing. Got to have daily testing. For quarantining, it's vaccinated players, none required after high-risk exposure. For unvaccinated, must quarantine after high-risk exposure. So that could cause a really major problem as far as having some players ready for games.
It goes on with wearing your mask. It goes on with social distancing. It goes on how many people should be in the weight room. It goes on with travel, marketing activities,
everything.
Going out at night, social life.
Yeah. There's just
it's a lot.
This is too much
for vaccinated players.
It is.
There's basically you're free to move
live your life
as if COVID never existed.
But it's not a good move because you got 2-3 different versions of this COVID that's crawling up now, and one is more active than the other. One is a stronger version. So if you ain't got vaccinated players that's not vaccinated, and you telling them you got to do this and do it. Why not just vaccinate everybody like the NBA did?
But some people, actually, the NBA hasn't vaccinated.
They haven't vaccinated everybody. It's still option. It's still optional. There's a lot of guys that didn't get vaccinated in the NBA as well. But I'm thinking of it as a guy that's on a team. If I'm a vaccinated guy and I got teammates that's not vaccinated, I feel like that's gonna split the locker room.
Not only that, you can kill somebody. You get one of these strong variants, his immune weak to it, you knocking him out.
That could be true too.
And then you got to think about you doing the course of a game. What if you contracted from somebody during the course of the game?
I mean, they dealt with that last year though. At least on that part, they dealt with that part last year. The part of I'm tripping on is they literally have two different rules. They literally have two different rules for if you're vaccinated or if you're not vaccinated. I feel like that will split the locker room, and that will cause teams to not play well. Because the one thing you need to have control of, if you don't have control of
continuity,
if you don't have control of anything, you need to have control of the locker room.
My linemen need to practice with my linemen.
Exactly.
My everybody need to get on. I
can't deal with. Oh, he can't practice today, and two of my starting linemen down.
Yeah,
we can't practice today, so we got to bring in other guys. I get the next man up mentality, but what if they've been on the road for the last 6 weeks?
No, what if they just not that guy?
That too.
You seen what happened last year with the 49ers?
You seen what happened with the Chiefs?
They put in this guy.
You seen what happened with the Chiefs just in the Super Bowl?
They put in well, that's a fact too. Yeah, they put in third stringers,
guys
and they got slaughtered.
Guys that couldn't get the job done. Guys that couldn't get the job done.
They got slaughtered.
And you see what they did? They went all in the offensive line in the offseason.
They got slaughtered.
So, yeah. Bottom line is, I ain't really with the protocol that the NFL is going with for COVID.
I feel like it's too much.
Yeah, I feel
they
like
should have
it's a little
simplified
much.
it. They should have simplified it.
It's a little
more.
much, especially seeing how this is really a trial and error year for the new season format, the new format of the season with the 17 games. You're dropping a preseason game. Now you're throwing out. Oh, now we have protocol rules as far as if you've been vaccinated, you're pretty much free to do what you want. But if you aren't, you need to still follow all the rules. Like I understand it, but I don't agree with it because I strongly believe it splits the locker room, and it can literally mess up continuity. It can mess up chemistry. It can mess up a team that's on a roll.
And you got how many men on one roster?
53.
3 plus 3
plus the practice squad plus 10 guys on the practice squad.
Yeah, that's a lot to be dealing with, bro. You ain't gonna keep up with all of them. Let's just face it. That's impossible. You never kept up with a whole football team. Yeah. You go to hotel.
I'm just thinking about the scheduling and on how they have to do everything. It's like, would you have 2 schedules as well? Like, we got vaccinated guys come in and work out at 8 a.m. and then non-vaccinated guys limited workout. They got to work out at 10. How does that work? Like, I don't know how that's gonna. Like, that's a lot happening. Like,
what I think
it's not making sense to me.
It don't make sense.
Not making sense.
I mean, what I think is, with the COVID rules and protocol, and with the addition of the
travel
of the game, and the lessening of the preseason game, I think we're going to have a very, very, very interesting NFL season, and we just really don't know what's going to.
I'm tuning in.
Yeah,
I'm tuning in.
Definitely make sure you tune in to see what that's going to look like, because some teams are going to be good. Some teams are actually going to. It's going to actually help them, and some teams is probably going to really, bring them down to where they may have been title contenders, and now,
COVID whooped a lot of teams last year. I mean, honestly, if we beat, said 49ers were a team, I feel like COVID beat y'all last year.
I feel like a lot of beat us besides Garoppolo. I feel like a lot
besides Garoppolo.
And I'm still thinking about this guy in the Super Bowl. Man, he giving me nightmares.
That was 2 years ago, man. You gotta let that go.
I can't. Every time I see him, I be like, "Hey, dude, you had a wide open guy streaking through the middle of the field for a touchdown, and you missed him 20 yards in the end zone."
Aaron Rodgers had 8 yards to run to the end zone, and he didn't suck me
twice.
So
I didn't get that.
We deal with it. You deal with it. You deal with it.
I try not to.
You deal with it. So they was up 19-3 on the Seattle Seahawks.
I try.
And we watched. All of us sat there and watched the Seattle Seahawks just come back and win that game.
I try not.
So here's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna get into the back end of the show. It's the last topic, man. We're gonna actually head back into basketball.
This is
so. First and foremost, we're gonna speak on Ben Simmons right quick, because he's a walking meme right now. What do you feel like Philadelphia needs to do with Ben Simmons? Because Ben Simmons actually decided not to, join the USA men's basketball team so he can work on his skill in the offseason. So, what do you feel like Philadelphia needs to do with Ben Simmons?
It all depends on what they want to do with Joel Embiid. They can't coexist. They can't coexist. We've seen it 4 years already. It's not working. So they got to figure out, do they want to keep Joel and build around him, put shooters around him, or do you want to keep Ben and build your team around Ben? And Joel was runner-up for MVP, so my choice.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what they want to do with Joel and how they want to structure their team. Because if they want to structure their team around him, then there's no room for Ben.
Exactly.
If you want to structure your team around Joel Embiid, there's no room for Ben Simmons There's no room for Ben Simmons on the Sixers. I hear the rumor. I don't know how true it is. I heard the rumor about the Golden State, trading him to Golden State. I can see that because he's not the number 1 guy. He won't be the number 2 guy. He won't be the number 3 guy. And he'll literally have a role.
Yeah, bring the ball up the floor.
Bring the ball up the floor, get it out your hands, defend the best player. That'll be his role.
Yeah. But is you willing to trade that much money? He's getting paid.
Is he getting paid? He's getting paid. You right.
He's going to get paid. But this is my thing about Ben.
It's not willing to trade that much money. It's can you afford to pay him?
Exactly.
And go to state. Can you afford to pay him?
Exactly.
Steph, you got to pay. You paying Clay.
You paying Draymond. Draymond already got an $80 million contract. I mean, that was a bit much for Draymond.
Yeah. But and then what you gonna do with Wiggins if you keep? You gonna trade Wiggins away?
Because the thing about Golden State right now is
questions.
You got Clay coming back.
I would do that trade though. Actually, now that I think about it,
you trade Wiggins.
I trade Wiggins away.
But that's betterment for Philadelphia.
I know. I'm saying if I'm Philly, I do that trade.
Okay.
If I'm Philly, I do that trade immediately. Because now I'm building my team. Like I said, I'm building my team around Joel. I just got me another shooter, another guy that create his own shot
and defend.
That's Philadelphia perspective, not Golden State. Because if you Golden State,
it's not really a lose for Golden State. Because Golden State, technically, honestly, I feel like Golden State will be a good team next year when Clay comes back. So if you add Ben, you don't have to work.
It'll take stress off. It'll take stress off of Clay because he don't have to play defense, right?
Nah, Clay gonna defend because Clay can defend.
That's my
so
point.
Clay will be all right, but it takes pressure off him. He on to defend the best player.
That's my point.
You know
That's my point.
Yeah,
you let him heal up.
Clay gonna be in his bag next year. I know that. Clay gonna be in his bag.
Oh, he gonna score. Oh, he gonna score.
But I'm saying the reason why I'm saying I take that trade, it's really a win. I feel like it's a win for both teams because Ben Simmons fits with them because he, like we said, he not even the top 3 scorer on the team.
But let's go
he
back.
He literally will play into a role.
Let's go back to this perspective. Say you feeling and you don't want to roll the dice and you want to keep Ben.
Then you got.
Then what you got to do?
Then you got to get rid of Joel, and you got to build around Ben. If that's,
I don't
if you
think so.
Why not? We've seen it. They can't coexist.
I think right now.
I don't even think they get along. If you come to listen
right now,
I love all y'all in here. If you go to a press conference and you blame me for the loss, I'm fighting you.
Exactly. But that's on Embiid.
And I don't want to play with you no more.
That's on Embiid because he had just as much fault for the loss. But check this out.
That's not the point.
If I'm Doc Rivers, and you telling me I'm gonna keep Ben, okay, this is what I need. I need a shooter. I need a guy. I need a guy who can give me 25 to 20. Not even 25. Just 20 solid points when he opened. Because Tobias Harris didn't do that.
Why we paying Tobias Harris?
Because we got to get rid of him. He just proved what he is.
So you trade away Tobias and not Ben?
He's just an asset.
So you trade away Tobias and not Ben Simmons?
If you're telling me I can't, if you telling me you gonna keep both of them, I got to get rid of Tobias because he's not doing his job.
Why not keep Tobias?
Because he showed you what he gonna do in the playoffs.
I think he had a.
What you gonna do? Make him bring up the ball? He ain't okay. He supposed to be the second. He supposed to be the third option, and that third option didn't turn out right. So I would trade Tobias. He the one. Everybody's saying Embiid and this and Simmons. Well, we know what they did. They made some.
Of the team.
Yes, they made some bad decisions. So both of them had to suck it up and own up to that. But Tobias,
saying getting rid of Tobias, getting rid of Tobias Harris to me, excuse me, it's like because you know he's the third guy. So that's basically saying like, oh, the Lakers need to get rid of Dennis Schroeder.
Man, that's how this
I'm
game go.
That's
how this game go. When you get paid what Tobias can pay, $34 million.
I get that.
And you didn't show up.
I get that.
So I wasted $34 million, and you didn't show up. But you riding around in the Ferrari. No, I got to do something different. You got to go give me a solid player where I can get 18 or 20.
So I'm a solution based guy. You telling me you want to get rid of him? What would you do? You just trade?
You telling me for next year what I'm going to get? Okay, first thing, if I'm Ben Simmons, first thing, he could play in the Olympics. That ain't gonna do nothing but better him because he's around better players.
That don't make him better.
Yes, it do. Yes, it do.
Clearly, it doesn't.
So you telling me going to practice with Kevin Durant ain't gonna make you better?
No, because he can't do what Kevin Durant can do.
No, but he'll learn. He'll get better. I guarantee you he'll get better.
He's not gonna get better. He's not gonna get better working with Kevin Durant.
So
he's gonna
get better. He gonna get better by being in the gym with a coach shooting at the air.
I don't think Kevin Durant is the kind of guy that can actually help him.
Well, that's another situation.
Exactly.
But that's another situation. But I think going to the Olympics with these other players will help him.
No, I think what he needs to get with a guy like Phil Handy, and even though Phil works with the Lakers, but I think he needs to get with a guy of that stature.
Bro, if you want him to go to the Lakers, just say that, bro.
No. I
don't see his game getting better like that.
I don't see him actually in a Lakers because what do you need him for?
You're gonna fit with the Lakers.
Yeah. You got LeBron. What do you need?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not saying that being is because they're going back to.
Well, a lot of guys that said it. Check the episode last week, y'all.
I keep him away from LA. Period. If he can't focus in Philly, he go to LA. That's a different
focus
beast.
Is not his issue.
Right. That's a different.
Focus
beast.
is not his issue. His issue is want to. Is apparently he's entitled and.
He been babyfied. He been babyfied his whole life. Yeah. That's the point. He get adversity and then he folds up he just folds up. Yeah. He don't need that. But my point is, if you trade him or not, you still got to address Tobias Harris.
Man,
he did nothing.
Bottom line is, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons can't coexist. We've seen it for 4 years. Bottom line is they can't coexist. That's my final take on it. Like they can't. One of them have to go. Philly need to make a decision. Do they want to keep Joel Embiid? If they're gonna keep Joel Embiid, they got to get rid of Ben Simmons and build that team around him. If they're gonna keep Ben Simmons, then they need to develop his game and build around him. Simple as that.
Boom. So there we have it, man. We're gonna get into this last segment. This segment is gonna be about
juicy.
Yeah, this is a juicy one, man. It's the cast your pick, and the reason why it's the cast your pick is because we want to know who was actually right, KD or Scottie Pippen.
Get some context.
So I'm gonna lay some context for y'all. So Scottie Pippen basically came out and said, I'm gonna paraphrase. He says, it's not an individual game. You can't go into basketball and beat nobody with an individual record. Basically, and I used this example of what happened to Kevin Durant just the other day. This is the first time we've ever really seen Kevin Durant have to be the man and bring the team home. So basically, long story short, of what Scottie Pippen is saying is
KD ain't that guy.
He's not that guy. He felt like Kevin Durant, being in the position that he was in, should have brought the team a champion. Should have brought the team over the hump in a Game 7 against
an inferior team. What he thinks
is an inferior team. So Kevin Durant then comes in rebuttals.
Twitter finger Kevin Durant, bro.
And tells him, look, you the guy who opted not to play the last play because you didn't get the ball. Because you didn't get the ball, and Tony Kukoc got the ball. And then Scottie kept going on and said, I think it was a racist situation. No, Kukoc was just a better shooter. And he hit
it. So Kevin basically said, didn't the great Scottie Pippen refuse to go in the game for the last second shot because he was in his feelings? His coach drew up a play for the better shooter.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's exactly what it was.
Scottie Pippen I feel like he should have came back with something a little harder, because I'd have been like, ain't this the same person that got 32 burner accounts and want to talk? Let me stop. All right. I'd have went at KD, bro. Don't come at me.
Wait. But you can't go at KD when you toss the bag out there.
That's fine. We can go back and forth.
Okay, but check this out. I'm going to say Scottie dead wrong.
Scottie is wrong.
Dead wrong.
Scottie is wrong. First of all, this is me going. I'm like, hey, you ain't just going to talk to me crazy.
The man almost had a quadruple double.
Why is Scottie dead wrong?
This is what I'm getting at. The man almost had a quadruple double. Not only was he playing scoring, he was playing rebounding. Mm-hmm. He was defense. Mm-hmm. He was blocking shots. He was setting up assists. What more did you do? How about this, Scottie? Go over there and tell one of his teammates, at least go wide open 3. How about that, Scottie?
Give me one.
How many times we seen KD penetrate or get in the sweet spot and the double and he kicked it out and
they miss it.
Clank.
Yeah, they miss it.
Or how about that guy, that number 1 guy I told you about? Where number 1?
Brown.
He was just out on the floor.
Getting good cardio.
He was just out on the floor getting paid. He was lost. He was getting caught. He was letting people score, run by him. He didn't have no flow of the game, no sense of presence where he was at.
He just out there working out.
He made a few decent plays. Well, he made the shot in overtime. That's all I give him credit for. Other than that, he was getting burnt on backdoor screens. Come on, man. Go tell Scottie, look at that. Then you're going to haul off and compare him to LeBron. Why you even bring him in this? Why? You just stated, just give me a solid fact. He still didn't give you a solid fact. Because the man at the end of the day, the man was gas.
We all know Scottie is a LeBron. I mean, he said some things about LeBron.
And he recanted. And we already know Scottie. I think Scottie going through turbulent time. You know, the wife keep popping up on the scene with the young bucks old enough to be his son. I think Scott, and then he got his hair all buck wild. But you know what it really is though? It's promotion. He got his book coming out. He got his bourbon coming out. I think it's bourbon. Don't quote me on that. It's either bourbon or brandy. But
I'm through buying any kind of alcohol that these dudes promoting, man. I'm through.
But wait, you went through all this extreme. Scottie never says hardly anything. Even when he was a sportscaster, did you ever hear him just grind on somebody? And now all of a sudden he got to change the heart. He looking like Shock G running around.
Rest in peace. Man. So here's the thing, man. Do you understand? I mean, even though y'all's picks were Scottie was wrong for even coming at KD about the situation, but at the same time, given Scottie Pippen's tenure, well, his accolades and his, how decorated he is in the NBA, do you feel like he has the right to say? Because Charles Barkley says it all the time.
America.
He was a dog. We're in a free country. You can say what you want to say, but that don't mean you're right.
That's true.
That don't mean. So you said what you said. Now KD coming at you. I said I'm gonna side with KD,
right?
Because he said, well, he was a number 1 option with Westbrook. he wasn't the number one option on the team. He didn't have to carry the team. But the last time I checked, when they was last finals, who was averaging more points than anybody?
Well, I think at the end of the day,
it's different than carry. Yeah. It's different being carrying the team and scoring more points. Like it's
I'm just telling you, who was doing the damage? Was the damage coming from Clay in? Was damage coming from Steph in? No, it was coming from KD in.
You're not about to act like he wasn't icing on the cake though with that team though. You're not about to act like he wasn't the cherry on top.
Hey, it is what it is.
You're not about to act like he wasn't a necessity.
It is what it is. But who was the most potent out of all of them?
We understand
Who was the most dominant out of all of them?
We understand that, but you put him on a team that was already 73-9.
That's their problem. They told him they went got it. They went shopped him.
I get that, but I'm saying
y'all like super teams. So,
who said that?
Hey,
who said that?
It is what it is.
Hey,
who said that?
Hey, next show we hopping straight.
We gonna talk about
y'all
these
like
super
teams.
teams.
Talk about these super
y'all
teams,
like
right?
super teams. So you can't get mad at KD. You can't get mad at KD for being the icing on the cake.
Hey,
you can't
man,
get mad at it.
Favorite line from one of my favorite movies, man. That boy said, if a man disrespect you, you send him to the cemetery. All right? Shout out to Freak Nick. T-Pain, I'm on your side, boy.
Yo, look, we love you guys, man. We thank you for tuning in to us for another week, man. This is Clutching Around Sports Talk, episode Black Excellence, man. We love all the black people out there. We love everybody, but definitely this episode is dedicated to y'all. Love y'all, man. Peace out.
H-Town, stand up.